Awesome.
Okay.
So I see that everyone has a mic. Lisa and Sharon have the microphones off and stuff, but I would like to get you to jump on in a minute and just quickly introduce yourself. I'll start with me. So I'm Kirsty. I'm your upline, I guess. I recruited and nurtured, and I'm very excited to have you guys here. This is a new idea to do this on a Monday night. You don't have to come to them all, but we like the idea of having something that's there, particularly as you grow your businesses and bring people on, that if they know there's a place every Monday at 5:30 where they can get their questions asked, that we can come up with a game plan for a week, that there's new, if there's new topics, new trainings, new things coming from corporates, we can make sure that everyone gets that intro. So that's me. And then we have, why don't we go from there, Sharon? I don't know, please introduce, say hi.
Oh, I cannot hear you. We cannot. There we go. Thank you. You're not. Are you not muted? Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. I'm Sharon Green. I live in Riverview, Florida, and I know Elizabeth from a few years back in the RF days, and we met through a mutual friend, and we also have some mutual family and friends in Alabama. I grew up in Alabama, and so we didn't know each other then, but we now have that in common as well. So I'm happy to be back on this path with her.
Have you done direct sales before, Sharon, or are you new to direct sales?
She did Rodan and Fields with me.
I have.
Oh, wonderful.
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
Yes. She knows, and other things too, but that's how we know each other primarily.
Okay. Fabulous. And then, so Christine, I was just saying that we're planning on doing this once a week. Not everyone has to come every week, but we wanted to have like a placeholder where we could make sure that hello, Christine, that we, if there's new topics, if there's training going on, if there's something coming on from corporate, that there's a place where your downline, you can come, and there's something every week where we can go over what we're planning on doing for the month. That's what we're going to go through tonight too. So do you want to introduce yourself, Christine?
I love that face.
Did not anticipate that at all. I'm Christine Clark. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I met Kirsty through our mutual coach, Roxanne, who's phenomenal. And I came up, I've dabbled in Rodan and Fields, and then I really felt passionate about Solvasa, and then I had to make a switch here. And this is my last landing spot, and I'm hoping this is the thing that I'm able to grasp onto. So that's me.
It will be.
It will be.
We will.
I believe it.
We're gonna rock. We're gonna rock this together. June, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm June Griffiths. I live in Bellevue, Washington, and I joined you and Grace in October. My other job is as a real estate agent, and I'm having a lot of fun and building a team, and happy to be here.
Lisa, can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yep, I'm the last one. I'm driving a friend home from work right now. Kirsty said I'm a 30-year nurse, and Kirsty and I had lots of little secret hallway conversations over all things infertility, and I help lots of moms with lactation issues, which obviously are hormone related. And yeah, so I have a heart for this work. I was just thinking, it was 18 years ago I was involved with my very first MLM kind of thing, and it was called Natural Body Care, and then it became Sensaria, and a lot of these same kind of premises, but they didn't make it. It didn't continue. So this is really interesting to me, and the other thing about it is that I feel like I've supported every friend and mommy in my world with MLMs. I haven't ever actually done the work, but I've gone to every party and heard every pitch about every one of them, I think. So that's kind of where I'm at with my experience.
And Lisa is a wonderful experience of why you need to reach out to people, because I almost didn't reach out to Lisa because we haven't talked in person in 7 years. And I like texted once or twice a couple of years ago when I first did RF, and she was like, no. And I was like, I didn't want to be that person. Then I'm like, no, I think this would be a great, this is much more up her alley. And I'm just going to say hi and throw it out there. And it was, it's something that is up her alley. And we were just meant to have a conversation. And so here she is. So I am very, very excited.
And the other thing that's interesting is that Kirsty and I are both the same age and the same kind of vintage nurse. And it's really hard when you're not a staff nurse right now, because there's a lot of guilt around that, but yet we have other ways to offer education and health. And so this is kind of exciting to reconnected over this too. So I'm super open and excited. And I'm going to go in my house now where I can turn a light on. So thanks.
Okay, well, Elizabeth is going to take over, and hopefully she's got some slides to go through. So maybe by then you can, since you're not driving, you'll be able to look a little bit. So
I should have said I'm in Winthrop, Washington, North Central wildfire, where all the fires burn, Washington.
Uh-oh.
It's a beautiful area of Washington.
When it's not on fire.
When it's not on fire. Or
fires.
Or under snow. Lots of snow there too. Okay,
Well,
so Elizabeth, take it away.
my name is Elizabeth Kilpatrick. I joined Hugh and Grace at the very, very end of September, and have been, as we already heard, with Red Ann and Fields for, gosh, officially, I think 8 years before I terminated. Also did Silvassa with Christine. That's how Christine and I know each other. But when I heard about Hugh and Grace, it just was like all the different things clicked the right way. And I'm super excited to talk to you guys tonight. I am in Dadeville, Alabama, which is right near the Georgia-Alabama line. I'm going to let Noelia.
Yep, Noelia.
Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and get started on our PowerPoint, because we're going to talk about compensation. And this is something that I just think a lot of people don't understand really well, but it is important to understand it to even set goals. So I think we talk a lot at the beginning of months about, oh, what are your goals? But if you don't really even understand the way the comp plan works, it's difficult to even set a goal. Like, what do you even know you're aiming for? So if you'll give me a second, I'm going to share my screen and the teacher in me, because I have been teaching college for a long, long time. That is, I had to do a PowerPoint, right? Okay, hold on just a second. Let me get to the beginning of this. It's going to be at the end. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Hey, y'all are getting the preview the backwards way. There we go. Let's talk about compensation, AKA how to make money.
Oh, and by the way, our team name is
Team Breakthrough right now, because that's what I came up with, and that's what we're going with. So we're going to talk a little bit about the basics, so PV and OV. We're going to look at the comp plan very, very quickly. We're going to talk about why SAD, or senior advocate, bonuses, a little bit about titles, how you get there. We're going to talk a little bit about the programs and incentives going on right now, some things we're doing to help you get there. And then Kirsty is going to ask you kind of to set a goal in public, so be forewarned. So the first thing I want to talk about is the basics. So any discussion about compensation, people are going to throw around terms like PV and OV and all this stuff. And if you have been in network marketing or social selling before, you may be familiar with those terms, but it's a little different at every company. So PV is your personal volume, and your personal volume is made up of your own personal orders as an advocate and your customer orders, and that's it. So it is literally your personal orders and your customer orders across the board. And we are paid, when we're not in a boost period, we are paid 25% on our customer orders, whether it is a retail order or what we call an auto renew order, 25%. Organizational volume is made up of your PV, so your personal volume, whatever that is, plus anything else your team does if you have a team. So like if someone signs up as an advocate under you and they buy a kit, that goes into your organizational volume. Any sales from any of your team members go into your organizational volume. So it's simple. You and your customers are personal. Everything else dumps into the organizational volume. Okay. So if you look at the comp plan, there are several things that I want you to notice. The first is that, and I'm going to move y'all to the side. There we go. The first is that up at the top, they tell you we earn 25%. So off the bat, you got that. And then there are these ranges for personal sales bonuses, which we're going to talk about in just a few minutes. But what I want you to look at particularly is that there are two major things that they have boxes around. And the first one, the one we're going to concentrate on tonight, is SAV, or senior advocate. This is really the first level, and it is the bedrock of our compensation plan. It is the first thing you want to get to. It is the thing you always want to maintain no matter what. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I'm not going to go into all these levels and everything down. If you want to have that kind of discussion, we would be happy to have it with you, but not tonight because it's more complicated. I want to focus on that senior advocate thing. So why senior advocate? Our goal every month, regardless of who we are, should be to make senior advocate by the 15th, no later than. Now that's not always realistic, and I understand that as we're starting, that gets harder, and as we've been going a while, that may get easier. But just for argument's sake, the 15th. So what is senior advocate? It is 300 PV and 800 organizational volume. But here's the cool thing. You can do the full 800 by yourself. You do not have to have a team to get to senior advocate. You can get to it all by yourself. So it can be just your PV, or it can be a combo of the two. And one reason that we are pushing senior advocate is because Sarah and Den are giving a gift to people who reach it by the 15th. And we'll talk about that in a second. It is, as I said, the building block of our comp plan. And if you do the full 800 by yourself of customer sales, your paycheck's about $250, not shabby. And it is achievable for everybody, whether you have a team or not. And I think that is so neat because you can make a substantial little side paycheck just by doing it yourself. So let's talk about those bonuses. So these are customer sales. So this is not like your team. This is if you do these things, just you yourself. If you get to the $500 threshold, you get a $50 bonus. You get to $1,000, you get a $150 bonus. I earned in December, I got the $500 bonus. It's a nice little bump in your paycheck. And this is for everyone, regardless of whether or not you're in your boost period. And it really helps that paycheck. So if you sell $500 worth of products, your paycheck is going to be approximately $175 because you've got 25% of 500 plus the 50. If you do SAV, so you make that $800 just by yourself, your paycheck's $250. But here's something really cool. You bump up to 1,000. So if you get to SAV or that 800 by the 15th or the 20th, and you push just a little harder to 1,000, your paycheck's $400 freaking dollars. And that's without a team member. That's just, you can do any of this by yourself. And I think that's so neat because our comp plan really is set up for success either way. And I was blown away. And these numbers are if you're outside of a boost period. Those of you in your boost period still, $1,000 in personal sales during your boost period, if you're under the old system, is $550 paycheck. Okay, I'm sorry, I just want to emphasize that. It's really nice. Okay, so I want to talk about titles a little bit. As I've said like 15 times, anybody, regardless of whether they have a team, can make senior advocate. When you get above senior advocate to mentor and above, you do have to have a team in place to earn those things. And those things we can talk about individually as you're team building and setting goals. But one thing you should know is that as you move up in the rank, you have to like move up in a requirement. So our comp plan is set up so that we just can't like sit back and earn a paycheck by doing nothing. Every single person, regardless of rank, has to have personal customer sales each month to achieve their rank, period. You cannot get by just on your team.
Yep.
The other
even
thing,
Veronica, the top producer in the team, she's our upline direct to corporate. She has to make customer sales every month. She can't just sit there and collect her percentage of what we do.
And even Veronica, Kirsty, all of us, we all start at 0 every month, regardless of rank. Okay. And that's important to know, because especially right now, as the company is getting going and we're all starting, the work that we do, regardless of title, is the same. We are educating people, we are selling product, we are recruiting people to be on our team, and we are helping people to grow within the company. And that's the work. And we're all doing the same work. So regardless of where you are, we all started at 0, and we all start at 0 at the beginning of every single month. It's the great equalizer, the beginning of the month. So how do you get there? To get to senior advocate, you need 800 in org volume. As I've said, it could all come from you. So when you look at that, that can be a little overwhelming. It even is for me. When I see that 0, I'm like, what the heck? So one thing we talk a lot about, Kirsty and I in particular, is this concept of a hero product, or a combo of maybe 2 products that you focus on when you're talking to people. We don't have a ton of products, but I think it's beneficial that you kind of pick 1 or 2 and really use that as what you talk up, and people will get other stuff too. But really focus on, when you're educating people, when you're talking about it, 1 or 2 things. So for example, if you decide, I'm going to talk about the body oil and the purifying cleansing bar. I love them. They're, great for everybody, whatever. Those 2 items together are $75. So to get to 800, you need to sell 11 sets. It's like 10.6, so 11 sets. Another example is like the night serum and the gua sha stone are $145 together. So you'd only need to sell 6 of those. And you will end up with a combo, but I love the idea of breaking it down into, how many of these do I have to sell? It just, to me, makes it a little more bite-sized. And I would even recommend, when you set your goal and when you think about what you want to focus on, that if you know you want to do 6 night serum and gua shas, write down your goal and then put 1 through 6. I do this in my calendar still. My goal for this month is, it's always 5 new customers. I literally number it in my planner and write it in. So that's a great way to do it and to think about it. But break it into bite-sized pieces. So there are some incentives going right now. One of them is that if you get to SAV or senior advocate by the 15th for 2 of the 3 months in Q1, you get a gift from Ben and Sarah. And then beginning in Q2, it will be, if you reach senior advocate by the 15th, all 3 months, you get a gift. I don't know what the gift will be, but I can tell you that they're pretty good with the gifts so far. The other thing is that we've got one going called Run to 2,500. So we are close enough so that if we continue our current projection, we will reach 2,500 advocates by mid-March, they're estimating. So once we reach that, Ben and Sarah are going to fly an advocate and a guest to LA for like some really cool experience with them. And every 2 advocates you enroll before March 31st gets you 1 entry into that drawing. So even if all you do is recruit 2 advocates between now and the 31st, you've got an entry. And how cool would that be? And they're not doing that based on who has the most. My understanding is that you get an entry and you get an entry. Am I right about that, Kirsty?
Yep, you are.
Okay.
So
it's
yeah, if you
available
recruit
to
10,
all
you'll
of
get
us.
5 entries.
Right.
But
So yeah, I mean, you want more entries, obviously, rather than less, but still, we're all eligible for it. And then there's the Boost program, and they just changed it, so I don't want to talk about the logistics of the Boost period, but whichever program you fall under, talk to your sponsor about how to best take advantage of your Boost period, because they are really investing in us heavily through the Boost program, and we want to take advantage of that if we can, all of us. Okay, I'm going to talk real quick about a thing that I did that's an idea I just wanted to share, and then I'm going to let Kirsty talk about the Simple Swap event that we're going to do. So I did something at the very beginning of the month when we released the lip mask, or I keep calling it balm, but it really is it's a mask. I reached out to my existing customers. So those of you that have existing customers, a great thing to do. Or if you have prospects that you think might jump at this. I reached out to them and I basically said, we've released this great new thing, it's yummy, whatever. And they're $20 for 1 or $55 for 3, and I'm doing a bulk order. And I sold 21 lip masks in less than 48 hours doing that.
And remember that when she places a personal order, that counts as her PV.
Mm-hmm. And so now I have to do a little extra work because they came to me, and I'm going to have to get them to my customers. Some people it's going to be shipped, and some people live in town, and I'll just, take an afternoon and drive around. But it was a way to get volume, a little chunk of volume out of a lower volume item, and to get the products in people's hands and to give them an experience with our products. Some of the, so that's something you might want to think about doing. I'm happy to share with you my language and all of that stuff. If you're interested, just let me know. And then Kirsty, I'm gonna let you talk about the event we've got going on later this month, or I guess in a week and a half now.
Yeah. So we are going to, if you want to, what does it really matter? We're going to do a 3-day Facebook event. And we're going to invite a Norwex person and someone from a company called Amare, which is a gut health wellness company. And the idea behind this is they're going to bring their networks, will be invited to it as well. And we're going to do it over 3 days, the 15th, the 16th, and the 17th. And on the 15th, it's going to be our presentation. So since it's our idea, we go first. And we're going to, each one of us, maybe do a live about a product. We're going to, do some posts about the products. We'll talk a little bit about the business, and everyone, you'll invite your network to that event and you'll put your own post with your picture and your link to buy. And so your network will buy from you, but the idea hopefully is also that the other people that have been invited from Norwex and from Amare, they will be intrigued by our products too, because it very much fits in with their branding, and that they will choose to buy from one of us as well. So volunteer to do a little live. I know that June wants to do one on the gua sha stone. I've done one before where I did a little presentation on the impact of hormones and how they influence our health, but I could throw that out to Lisa. I'm sure she could put something together for that in a couple of minutes. But each one would be like 5 minutes, you know, pick your favorite product. We'll dole out your favorite product where you talk about why you love it, what's in it, what's great. And then we'll have some info there on each product too. And, you know, at the end of it, key is always in the follow-up to, you know, don't just invite people to these Facebook events. People don't see their notifications, so you can invite them, and then I always follow up with a little text with the link to that Facebook event, telling them what it's about, that it's about, it's not just about selling Hue and Grace, it's about making some simple swaps to, you know, low tox, no tox products that you can incorporate into your life to live a healthier life. So that's the concept behind this. And I'm hopeful it will be very good for all of us. As long as we follow up.
Yeah.
As long as we follow up.
Yeah.
So,
and we will have more about, we will have inviting language and all of that. Yeah. So we're not going to get into that now, but we will help y'all with that. So you're not just like left out, like figuring out what to do.
Yeah, we'll have this page ready to go on the 10th of February. Do you want to go into that, Elizabeth? Do you want to go into it?
So it's on an existing event I've already got that I'm just going to revive. The page will be open on February the 10th, like it'll be ready to go. We'll invite like the 11th through the 14th-ish. And then on the 15th, the actual presentations will start. You and Grace will go first. And so ideally what you'll want to do is remind people on the 14th or 15th, like, hey, don't forget to join, blah, blah. And engage, obviously, during the process for all 3 days, and be following up with people as you go, because the idea is to obviously make sales and everything, but it's also to get those conversations going, because you just never know when something's going to hit someone the right way, or when they're going to be like, maybe I should do that business. And if you're not checking in with them, you'll never know.
Right. So, and there will be some prizes, like some lip balms, some soaps, maybe a body oil. Well, definitely a body oil. So those 3 for sure. And Elizabeth and I will come up with something as to how they win it, as opposed to just randomly picking some names. There'll be something that we do to kind of zhuzh it up a bit. But that's part of the inviting, is letting people know that there'll be some goodies that will be given away. You know, even if you don't want to buy anything, of course we want you to, but you know.
Yeah, but still. Stay on the thing. We're going to get you one way or the other. So what we want to know is, what is your goal? After hearing this, what are you thinking that your goal will be? And I have to warn you guys that I forgot, I didn't upgrade to Zoom Pro, so I've got 7.5 minutes before it cuts us off.
I have Zoom Pro, but I struggle with Zoom technology and actually getting the links to people. So
yeah, so it's good. Okay, so let's just go around and shout out what our goal is, I guess. Is that okay, Kirsty? And I'm
yeah, go for it.
Okay. So June, we'll start with you.
Senior mentor.
You can totally do that.
Yes.
Is this your founding advocate? Is this what are you still trying to go for founding advocate, or are you out of that? Okay. No. You can do it. You're going to love it. You can do it. Okay, Sharon. Unmute. You're muted.
Sorry. This is my second month, and I picked up a couple of customers and actually a couple of advocates the first month. So I would like to get at least 5 new customers. I'd love to be senior advocate, SAV, by the 15th.
Or
mentor.
We'll talk, but you can be mentor. So
mentor,
we'll talk, because I think you can do that for sure.
Okay.
So just hold that back there. Senior advocate, and we'll talk about mentor.
Okay.
Okay. Noelia. Tell me how to say that. I don't ever like to pronounce people's names wrong.
Noelia.
There you go.
So I've been a bit MIA.
You've had a lot on your plate.
A lot, and I've been catching up so much today with a lot of things. So no more death in our family. So I'm done. So I would like to reach SAV. I reached AA, and I was close once to SAV, but So that's my goal. Just getting back with the customers and all that, like,
Getting
Yeah.
into the rhythm of it.
yeah.
Well, I think this event, inviting for the event, so we
Mhm.
can use that as a way to kind of be reaching out. That's why I love events so much, because it's a great thing to be having conversations with people about.
Okay, Lisa. I think when did Lisa join? Like 5 minutes ago?
5
10?
minutes ago, yes.
I put in my order on Saturday. I got the confirmation just a little bit ago that it was shipped. So my goal is to try the product. But I was actually thinking of some local friends to like do a package opening with me and kind of try it with me. Like ask for some accountability
fun.
that way.
Yeah,
Perfect.
love that. Okay, Christine.
You can come off Zoom.
I'm here. I know. I put my thing on, didn't I?
Yeah, you're good.
So I reached mentor, which was awesome, and I'm super excited. And then at the very same time, life things happened, and so I feel like I have to totally restart now. And so that's where I am. And I guess SAV for this month. I don't know. We'll see.
That would be fantastic.
I think really it's not about SAV or anything. It's more for me about getting back on track and being consistent about things. And,
Right.
And so that is
Absolutely.
really my goal. It doesn't really matter the number, actually.
Well, I can reach out. We can chat tomorrow. We can set some goals if you want. I'm always here to be a cheerleader or accountability partner. So if you want that, I don't want to be the pushy one, but if you want that, I'll touch base with you tomorrow.
No, I think I appreciate that. And I really have only just come out of my fog in the past like 7 days. So yeah, it's good. Thank you.
Okay, and last but not least, Chantel.
She
Can you-
disappeared. She's
Nope,
gone.
she's on here. Can you? There you go.
Sorry, I'm eating my dinner, so that's why my video's not on.
Okay.
I just got off another Zoom meeting. My goal is just to really continue to try out the products. I did break out in a big zit, so I don't know if that was just a hormonal issue. I usually don't get zits, or maybe I'm just using too much product. And I need to make a first sale. That's my goal.
Okay,
So-
we will talk. We're going to talk about, you and I are just going to talk. Okay, Kathy's been out of pocket, so let's you and I talk about what we can do.
Okay,
I'll reach out to you tomorrow.
Okay, and any like sales pitches or just information that you have, maybe it's my delivery. I'm not really sure. So yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I have absolute faith, but we'll figure it out.
So-
And I will, and we've just set up, I've got 2 minutes. Sorry, God, y'all, I'm not going to do this again. I'm going to upgrade to pro. Totally didn't do it. Thought I had. So I'm setting up, I said this at the beginning, a Google Drive. Kirsty and I are doing that to put a bunch of stuff in it, like all the language and how to start people and launching and all of the stuff that we all kind of wonder about. Oh, what do we do? And then we're also going to have a YouTube channel where I'm going to put like these recordings and short things and little demos that we've all done and whatever, so that we have a place to get all of that information, but also personal stuff that's like our team. So we have those materials, because I think that makes it more personal anyway. So, okay, Kirsty, I'm going to let you wrap us up.
Well, that's it. Just thank you very much. And
I haven't heard your goals.
oh, my
Oh, it
goals.
was my goal.
Kirsty.
Shoot.
Mine is to get back to mine is to get back to senior mentor, and my stretch goal is associate manager. That's right. Yeah. But really to get back to senior mentor, because I did not maintain it last night, which is totally expected, but that was it. All right, Kirsty,
Director.
you can do it. We're gonna help.
Yeah. But but I can't get there without everyone. And so, that's the beauty of this, is if I'm not a great leader and I'm not giving you guys the support you need, then I stall out too. So, I'm here. I need you. and I hope to be there for you. And yeah, it's having the conversations, and we want to get it streamlined for you so that there's reach out language, that there's stuff that you can sell to make this, just to share, to make this as easy as possible as you can. And, whether it's, you're just trying the products for the first time, or Chantel, you got a breakout, there's going to be so much more that we're selling than just skincare. And, just